I'm Mallory Smith.
I'm Victor Perez.
Well, it's the start of a new year. Hopefully today we're going to stick to those resolutions. Maybe stick inside as well, actually, because conditions aren't looking too great.
I just realized I didn't make a single resolution, but it's too late, so we'll continue on.
And meanwhile, several area communities have already declared snow emergencies ahead of the storm. Those cities include the city of Sioux City. Their snow emergency just went into effect at 6 a.m. It'll last through 6 p.m. on Friday evening. While President Biden is continuing to come under scrutiny this morning, following 3 separate findings of classified documents. The first set of about 10 classified documents was found in a locked closet at one of Biden's former office spaces. Meanwhile, in his third week as the owner of Twitter, Elon Musk is warning employees of difficult times ahead. According to multiple reports, he told employees bankruptcy could be a possibility within the next year. And according to Bloomberg, right now advertisers account for 90% of Twitter's overall revenue. Woodbury County Board of Supervisors is significantly closer to balancing the 2023 through 2024 budget after a week spent searching for places to make cuts and adjustments. Last week, the board forecast a budget deficit of about $6.3 million. All right, well, if you've noticed that lottery jackpots seem to be getting bigger, you're not the only one. The most recent Mega Millions drawing featured a jackpot of $1.35 billion. In November, Powerball hit $2 billion. And last July, Mega Millions hit $1.3 billion. All right, taking a break from the news, let's check in with meteorologist Victor Perez. Now, I know we're seeing some calmer conditions for today. Tomorrow is more of where the conversation is at.
That's where we're keeping an eye on.
And cash prizes went to the winners. I don't know why they didn't tell me about that, because I know that I would have taken home the gold, taken on the prize.
You can eat that many bagels?
Bagels, if we're talking bagels, if it's a hot dog contest, completely different story. But if it's a bagel contest, I'm in.
I could do 2.
And I will win it.
in that time, it's a lot.
All right, perfect. I was just thinking also at the beer yoga, that's where you can manifest. We need to start talking about manifesting, and I'll need to teach you what that
means. The first time I've heard
means.
This term was you talking about it before we went on TV.
Desire it, say it out loud,
okay.
Achieve it.
Exactly. That's the whole point of manifesting. We'll come back to it next Friday, okay? We're going to talk about manifesting. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know.
We're going to help Tony manifest in his life.
I would like someone to manifest me a beer in studio. That'd be kind of fun.
Exactly.
Desire it.
Everyone right now manifest that Candace has the best birthday day ever.
Oh, that's
there
it.
we go.
No, that's what I meant to say, yes.
Every birthday for Candace is a good.
Well, back in Sioux City, if you're looking for local activities to check out, you might want to head to the Dorothy Pico Nature Center, where they have a new animal ambassador. Her name is Lucia, and she is a screech owl. So yesterday was her premiere appearance to the public. A few dozen folks showed up to see her big debut. Lucia came to the center in August. She's been slowly worked with to become an educational animal. The center will slowly get Lucia used to her new home. That way she can eventually be shown on the main floor of the center in the coming year. All right, we're going to take a break from the news now. Let's check in with meteorologist Ethan Foreman. So right now we're seeing some clear skies, kind of what we're going to be seeing all this week until Thursday. The one day we don't want to see some cloudy skies, Thanksgiving. All right, well, let's take a live look at the snow here in Sioux City through our live Storm Tracker 9. We have meteorologist Ethan Foreman driving with our KCAU 9 photographer Kenneth Kroll. Now, you guys have been out all morning, so what changes have you seen from when you guys first started driving until now, if any at all? All right, thanks, Ethan. We're going to check back in with you later. Just to reiterate some of the things he was saying, it was slicker more so on the north side. It's kind of hit and miss. So no matter where you're going, conditions are going to be a little bit hazardous. Just give yourself some extra time and go slow today. Meanwhile, the U.S. House Committee is set to release 6 years of former President Donald Trump's tax returns today. The Democratic-controlled House Ways and Means Committee voted last week to release the returns after redacting sensitive information like Social Security numbers and contact information. Let's check in with meteorologist Victor Perez. We're seeing conditions kind of similar to yesterday, but as you've talked about already this morning and even today, temperatures are what's different.
Yes, big difference.
We are definitely looking forward to that warm up. But with the arrival of the chilly weather, fire officials have an important reminder. Now, firefighters say you should never plug space heaters into extension cords or overload your power outlets. Both of those could cause electrical fires. Space heaters account for 40% of winter house fires. Firefighters say there are some surprising steps you can take to minimize potential fire damage in your home. All right, now we're joined by meteorologist Victor Perez to tell us exactly when we are going to see that warm up. When will that be?
Well, not today, Mallory. We're seeing that temperatures are still pretty cold out there. We've seen it.
Now over to South Dakota, where the latest polling information indicated Republican incumbent Governor Kristi Noem would be elected to a second term. And those early polls held true as Noem won the governor's seat with 62% of the vote. The Democratic candidate Jamie Smith received 35% of the vote, while Libertarian candidate Tracy Quint received less than 3% of the vote. We're going to take a quick break from the news. Let's check in with meteorologist Victor Perez. Now, we saw a much warmer weekend, and I feel like those warmer conditions are now helping with the fact that we're not seeing snow today. We're instead seeing rain.
Yes, it's been good on that. Mallory has been cracking up about this since we went into the break. Do you want to make your guess first?
Yeah, I can't. I just think that's the funniest name ever. Pine Eyes and Woodhead. Okay, I'm going to guess Pine Eyes.
Pine Eyes. That was actually going to be my guess. Also, you know, I know Spanish, and ojos is eyes. Maybe ocho is eyes. Connection. I've been trying to learn Italian for years, but let's see.
Really? Good for you.
It doesn't stick.
Yes! Pine Eyes. That's the funniest thing ever.
Again, Mallory.
And don't forget to turn those clocks on Sunday. I know I'm probably going to wake up and forget. You get an extra hour of sleep this weekend.
All right.
All right, thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your day. Hi, welcome back. I'm here with Ike Rayford, the president of the NAACP. Thank you so much for being here today and joining us.
Thank you.
We have some exciting things to talk about, an exciting event coming up on Monday. That's January 16th. Yeah. What is the big event that you guys are going to be celebrating? What are some of the things we'll be doing?
Well, again, thank you so much. It's always exciting to celebrate Dr. King. We celebrate the life and the legacy.
Yeah, so Heroes of the Heartland does a very good job honoring members in our community. You honor the ordinary people who do the extraordinary. But when finding nominations, what are some of the things that you are looking for in candidates?
Really, we're looking for individuals who are showing courage or compassion.
A little more present of an issue. Speaker of the House.
Right.
That's kind of a bit of a debacle right now.
Yes.
So why do you think Republicans are having a bit of a hard time voting for a Speaker of the House?
Yeah, there are a lot of views within the Republican Party, and I do hate that they're struggling.
The state is putting people in a bind. The legislators didn't think about it when they did this.
Greg Cormany is a disabled veteran who planned to cast his ballot in the 2021 City Council election. But on Thursday of this week, Cormany received a notification by mail letting him know he needed to submit a request form for an absentee ballot and have it sent back to the city courthouse all by Monday night.
But I work on 100% VA disability, and in order for me to go somewhere, I've got to pack up my oxygen and all my other good stuff. And I don't walk very fast. It's just a pain.
With the new restrictions and mailing times, he says he doesn't have enough time to get his documents to the courthouse. Typically, provisions would allow him to have someone else pick up the form and drop it off for him. An extra step he says he doesn't believe he should have to go through.
I'm not going to make them go down and take their time out in their day to go down and get me something that I shouldn't have to go to this much trouble to get.
The new rules have prompted Sioux City Auditor Pat Gill to make some adjustments in his practice. The change in rules are partially to blame for the late courtesy reminder and for Cormany not yet having his ballot in hand. Since before the change, absentee ballots simply arrived in registered voters' mailboxes.
They outlawed a practice that I've been doing for years, and that was mailing absentee ballot request forms to the voters to notify them that there was an election coming up. Why the legislature outlawed that, I don't really know. We lobbied the legislature, we talked about it, and especially the impact that it has on the disabled community.
Though Gill doesn't agree with the new restrictions, Jim Carlin, the representative who voted in favor of this legislation, says there's a reason these rules are in place.
Just so there's no concerns of tampering or ballot stuffing or anything like that.
But Cormany says he personally feels suppressed rather than protected.
I understand the hardship of his disability, but provision has been made for that.
Cormany believes this won't be a reoccurring issue, but to him, that's not the problem.
Going to probably only be one election this year, this is going to happen to, but that's one is one. An election is an election. I have the right, everybody has the right to vote. Everybody has the right to an absentee ballot.